Hi, everyone. This is Encouragement on Fire, and I am Shirley Farrar. And I have a guest today, and it is Stephen Forte. Stephen Forte is also my cousin. So, welcome him to the space, everyone. Um, this is Sunday night, 8 p.m., and we are on YouTube. We are also on Facebook. So continue to come back and chat with us. This is podcast number 148, and today we are talking about walking purpose with the right people. Now, this podcast, as Stephen knows, it's always about defeating cancer, sickness, and disease.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we have to know, when you're focused about something, there's always other factors that come involved.
Mm.
So even if I'm focused on defeating cancer, sickness, and disease, I got to live my life.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some things that we need to talk about. So if we walk in purpose with the right people around us, so I'm always talking about having the right people at your table,
Right.
and we're at a table right now. So just having the right people. So wherever you are, think of who's at your table.
Mm-hmm.
That's really important. Who is at your table right now? And sometimes we're talking about different things.
Right. Right.
So you and I off camera, we were talking about, you know, if we're talking about healing,
Mm-hmm.
who's at your table?
Yeah. It's well, hi everybody. I didn't say hi yet, but hey, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for watching and supporting my cousin. She's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Her and her husband Daryl have
Mhm.
been very instrumental in my life for years now, even as a young man, teenager. Um, Actually, I was telling somebody the other day, and I know this is a little off topic, but I was talking about y'all like literally yesterday or 2 days ago. Oh yeah, it was yesterday because I was talking about how we were doing the thing in Atlantic, or y'all doing a thing in Atlantic City. I was like, yeah, they're literally one of the main reasons why I'm saved and living for God. Because I remember just coming over your house,
Yeah.
like when y'all had the house over in Clementon, and like coming there like once in a while, and always seeing y'all's lifestyle and just y'all being constantly encouraging,
Mm.
you know, and Daryl always being a male role model,
Mm.
like as a young man of God, and now
Yeah.
older man of God, but still able to look at him and look at you.
Wow.
And I even remember,
Wow.
and I don't want to take over the
No,
segment,
go ahead. Say
but
what you
yeah,
said.
just
This is
when we
powerful.
used to be at Solid Rock,
Yeah.
even the one day we came there, or I came there, and I was visiting at the time, and they gave me a little package, and in the package was a CD, and it was you singing on the CD, and I played it, and I just played it on repeat.
Oh
I
my
had a little
goodness.
stereo in grandmom's patio,
Right.
and I would play it, and I would worship. I learned to worship God
Oh.
listening to you sing.
Oh,
Like,
so that warms my heart. Oh my goodness,
no,
that's
I'm
so
serious though. I'm not.
that is so awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
as the kids would say, no cap. This real.
This is
Like,
real.
yeah, that y'all like really have been so instrumental in my life. Even like being over at in Clementon when I used to come over there.
Mhm.
Like I back then I used to smoke cigarettes and weed and everything, and I used to try to get away and walk down the street just so I could hide away and smoke or something. But still, the fact that I never saw y'all do any of those things when I got into Christ and got into the church. it- like even one day, I remember being out in Ohio playing basketball with some people,
Yeah.
and one of the elders out there slipped up and cussed, and I was like,
Ooh,
I
look.
mean, it's not the biggest sin in the world,
Right.
but when everybody else was like, "Oh, that's nothing," da, 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 he's human. I was like, "Well, I have a lot of human preachers in my family, and I've never heard any of them cuss, and I'm around them all the time." And
Wow.
so I'm thinking about Cleve
Right.
and Daryl, my dad,
Yeah.
Uncle Alan, and all the different men of God in my family that I have as a model of
Right.
how to be as a man
Right.
and a man of God. But yeah,
Amen.
so
Amen. Well, you know what? We don't want to give anybody condemnation who does, still cuss.
yeah,
Um,
of course not. But
but I think what it is part of that process
hmm
of one time you were there, you began to grow in the Lord,
right,
and you're not. And that's the part that people see,
right,
that
right,
end of the process of or still on the process, but you don't do what you used to do.
Right.
And I think as Christians, if we all are there, people will look at you and say, "Oh, you don't do these things." Well, there was a time that I did,
Right.
and what you see is the work of God in me,
Right.
who doesn't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so well, I'm glad that God showed you that. It was instrumental enough to lead you to this place in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
and I know there was other examples as well, but just to be a part of that,
Mm-hmm.
I feel good about that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just to for you to say it, because usually you don't get your flowers until you did. You know,
Right.
and you're on the other side, and I guess that you hear
No, it
somebody
show.
really appreciated you. You know,
No, yeah, of
so
course, of
so
course.
thank you.
It's really, I
Yeah,
mean, even still, like I said, I mean, I still
right.
am able to talk to you guys and look
Yeah,
at you guys and yeah, so it's a
awesome.
blessing. But yeah, so you said that
Yes.
the people at your table, of course, it's a figurative table, but
Yeah.
also like realistic and natural. I
Mm-hmm.
remember and it's sad, sad story,
Mm-hmm.
but since you're talking about faith or people that are at your table that can encourage you,
Yeah.
like I remember my dad was going through sickness toward the end of his life,
Yeah.
and he felt like he was,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, surrounding himself with men and women of God,
Mm-hmm.
of faith,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he didn't call me. And I remember Daryl called me one day and told me my dad was in the hospital. I was like, and somebody might take this the wrong or get offended by this, and I hope you don't. But I was
Right.
like, well, realistically, Dad, who do you know that operates in more faith than me?
Yeah, I know.
And I don't
Yeah.
mean not to sound arrogant
Yeah,
or anything,
even I know that. No, no,
but
I know that. Yeah, you're a
but
definitely a faith
like
person.
yeah, like we were
Yeah,
talking off camera
yeah,
about literally. I remember believing God for a donut
yeah.
when I first got saved or serious about God.
Right.
And I remember walking
Uh-huh.
into McDonald's one day when I was working at
Yeah.
Prestige detailing cars and I
Right.
didn't have any money and God I heard God say, "Go there.
Mm.
Somebody's going to give you food." I
Mm.
walk in the door and a lady hands me a burger,
Oh my goodness.
hands me a bag with a burger and fries.
Mm. She saw you coming.
She knew I was coming. We never talked about God. I
Mm.
never had a conversation with her about God.
Mm.
I just
Mm.
walked in there and stood there, and she just walked up. Here, this is for you, baby. I was like,
But see,
wow.
that's what we're talking about. You know, as you start to walk in purpose, you're talking with like-minded people,
Hmm.
people that believe. Now there's some people who watching it like, okay, y'all, you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
We sound
You're
crazy, of
walking,
course.
you sound a little crazy, but you know, these things happen to people all the time.
Right.
um and I always say it's a different frequency.
Hmm.
It's just this level of understanding. When you're in prayer, you hear things, you see things, you just know things that are
Hmm.
about to happen.
Right.
There's been times, you know, and even camera people on television,
Hmm.
remember that Denzel Washington, Deja Vu,
Yeah.
remember that movie?
Yeah, it was a good one.
Just knowing something before it actually happens.
Hmm.
People have dreams all the time. I've had many dreams and then been in the middle of the dream in live time and like, what in the world is going on?
Right.
And it played out exactly like my dream did. I'm so
Hmm.
glad it was a good dream. It wasn't like bad. But the point was that it, something in me,
Hmm.
God Himself was trying to show me
Right.
that your dreams are real. Like these things can come to pass.
Right.
You know, but that's having people who have the you can have that conversation with someone who actually um, believes the same way.
Right.
See, we're not going to get real deep on that because there's some people that don't believe that, and we don't want to scare you away from the podcast. Maybe you'll at another time we'll have that conversation with you.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about, you know, whether it's healing,
Hmm.
whether it is goals that you have in life,
Hmm.
whether it's building a business, whether it is someone could say, I want to win a marathon,
Hmm.
or I want to, get to the top of,
Mount Everest.
yeah, Mount Everest.
Hmm.
Now, the average person who is an unbeliever, think about what we're saying.
Yeah.
See, we're always talking about faith.
Yeah.
But anyone who's an unbeliever in what it is you want to accomplish, it could be something as small. And when I say this, I don't want you to take this as small. It could be something as small as someone who was never able to drive, and they said, "I just want to learn how to drive my car and get down the road." To somebody else, they're like, "Okay,
Yeah,
just go drive."
I've done the road.
But for
Just don't hit
that
nothing.
person,
Yeah.
it takes faith for them to get in the car, whatever their trauma, whatever they've gone through, to get in that car and to get there. Or maybe it's a health condition. Do you see what I mean? It
Yeah.
could be so many things, but having the right people on around your table that says, whatever it is you want, I'm gonna get you there.
Yeah.
How many of you listen to this podcast have that same mindset when you have people in your family, you have people on a journey, you have people that are your friends, and they may say something outlandish to you, and you might even think, you ever had that look on your face? You might not have showed them, but you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But see, that takes a good friend. That's a good family member. You understand?
Yeah.
Loving someone unconditionally and saying, if you want to do that,
I got your back.
I got you. And we gonna get there.
Yeah.
Even if you have doubt.
Yeah.
You understand? Even if
Yeah.
you have doubt.
Yeah.
There's several examples in the Bible. Look at was it the man who was lowered
Oh, by his friends into the house. Yeah.
his friends into the house so then he could get the anointing, he could get the
Yeah.
healing,
Yeah.
from God himself.
Yeah.
Now his friends,
Friends could have said, "Man, you crazy."
them friends probably was doubting. I'm just saying, but they had his back.
Yeah, and think about like the Benny Hinn's or Shane Box and all of them. How many times they've come to town and done their revivals and stuff. And if you did have sickness or you like and you tell like imagine like you're sitting there with
I have gone to one of them.
uh-huh.
I know a lot of people will say, see, if you've ever had an opportunity to go to a tent revival, my mom got me to, I believe it was it Shambach? Yeah, Shambach. He's the one with the blonde hair,
Yeah.
right? Shambach. She got me to a Shambach revival. And my, like I said, I have the documentation. So it's not like, oh,
Right.
but the documentation said that I would always have a limp, and one of my legs was smaller than the other. Yeah, I know. It was like, you know what I mean? Like you got that inch.
It's crazy. Your goddaughter Kimmy has the same thing. But go ahead.
Isn't that CC family? The bloodline. See, that's another story. We ain't gonna get into that right now. But it's a bloodline thing. And so I had this limp. And I used to have growing pains all the time. Like my body would just ache. And mom used to give me bone meal. She would give me all these things to kind of like help with the healing process.
Right.
And the doctor kept telling her, it's just that her body's growing and this is going on. And my mom believed.
Amen.
She believed that I would be healed. She believed that she's not going to always have a limp, have to wear the extra little part in the shoe.
Right.
A lot of people don't know things about me. I'm just
I
saying,
never knew that.
you never knew that. See, when you ask Aunt Cynthia, she'll tell you about it.
I've been around my whole life.
Yeah, see, we gonna share with that. See, and now I found out about your sister, but she took me, and the thing of it is we just talked about doubt and unbelief. Well, in your prayers, Lord, help my unbelief.
Right.
But see, my mom believed, and I was a child. I was just a child. And he looked at me, he said, I'm gonna lay hands on you. And and I'm gonna pray that God will heal you. Do you believe? I didn't know anything else. I said, yes, I do. I believe. And he said to me, okay. So first he had me walk across the stage. And I was like, okay. whatever.
Mm.
And I was walking across the stage, and I was trying not to laugh. I was trying not to, because it was just a slight one. I was trying. He said, "Baby, just walk regular, just walk
Just
regular."
walk.
I said, and you could tell it was like a little.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't much, but you could tell it's just that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "All right, so everybody could see that." He had me do it a couple of times. Everybody could see that, and see it. It didn't have to be drastic. It didn't have to be. It was there.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was there.
Right.
The doctor's notes and all of the X-rays knew it was there.
Right.
It wasn't and he laid hands on me, and he said, "The Lord said according to the word." Like he walked me through the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Now you say out your mouth, I'm healed," and I did all of that, and I believe. And I said, "I believe." I honestly did. I
Yeah.
believed that I would be regular.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Okay, so get on and walk over there." So he no, he told me to run. I ran, and then I came back, and I was walking regular.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Now you make sure you go back to the doctor so you can get a record of what happened before that." I was having pains and cramps, and it was bad. It
Mm-hmm.
was really bad.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I didn't. Like I went from
Mm-hmm.
so
That's
for
amazing.
you out there who were saying, well, listen, either you believe it or you don't.
Exactly.
It's really that simple. This is a faith walk.
It is.
And it helps to know who's at your table, because the people at your table, just like if it was healing, if it was a business, it was
Mm-hmm.
getting to the highest mountain,
Yeah.
I'm going to get you there.
Mm-hmm.
We all going to believe that you're going to make it.
Right. Now we may not be able to get to all your points,
Yeah, we ain't gonna get to
and
all the points in
in
the.
those
I
couple
usually do
minutes.
20 minutes with you guys, but I don't think we're gonna get to all these points. But we're gonna keep going until we finish this series. How about that? We'll get
Okay,
as
cool.
far as we
Well,
can.
let me say
Go
something.
ahead.
So when you talk about business and things like that,
Hmm.
like I believe that, like you're saying, it's the same thing. I remember telling a friend, and this is to the point of having the wrong people at the table, right?
Hmm.
And I'll go back to my dad's story in a minute if you have time.
Hmm.
But I remember my friend, I told him one day, I said, "Yeah, I want to get a bunch of computers and a bunch of cameras,
Hmm.
and I want to get like like a bunch of stuff fishing rods and all this stuff. And I
Hmm.
want to do like some kind of class for a bunch of kids, and I want to teach them all how to use all this stuff." And my friend said, "Man, are you crazy? Ain't nobody giving you no bunch of cameras and computers and all that stuff to teach no bunch of raggedy
When
behind
was this?
kids."
What year was this?
This was like 10 years ago or maybe 12 years ago.
My goodness.
So literally right after that, I told two different people, I think.
Oh my
And
goodness.
the other person, he was like, "Well, yeah, well, if you want to do that, then you got to do da da da." I was like, "Yeah, I don't know how to do none of that. All
Right.
I know how to do is believe it."
Right. Right.
And a couple months later, I was in church in Atlantic City with my pastor.
Right. Right.
And I told my pastor about what I wanted to do. And then he said, "Okay, let's just go down there and have a meeting with them and tell them what you want to do." This pastor, he said, "You know what? It's interesting that you say that because I want to do the same thing.
Mhm.
We don't have the creative ideas to do it. You have the creative ideas. We have money.
Mm.
We may not be able to do $25,000 worth of stuff, but we can
Mm.
buy, let's say, 10 computers.
Mhm.
We can buy two cameras, memory cards. Each of the kids, if you have too many kids for the 10 cameras, the kids can work together on a computer
Right.
to learn Photoshop and video editing software
Right.
and photography."
Right.
And so we wound up having a summer camp that
Right.
year, and
Yeah.
we taught screenwriting, acting. Like I
Right.
even had one of the ideas was to get Legos. And it's the reason this idea came about was
Right.
because I was talking to my nephew Emmanuel. He was
Okay.
playing Minecraft on a video game every weekend at Tanisha's house. But
Wow.
Tanisha's my sister.
Uh-huh.
And so I said, I don't like that he's like becoming more antisocial. He's sitting in front of the computer all the
Mm.
time or in front of the TV all the time on
Right.
weekends.
Right.
So
Right.
I asked him one day, I said, "Hey, Emmanuel, if I was to put together a summer camp or some kind of a camp that taught you how to do the same things that you do on the computer with Legos, would you want to do it?"
Mm.
and he has to process everything. It's just how his mind works. He's
Right.
in school for engineering now.
Right, right. Science,
Yeah,
science, of
but
course.
yeah,
Hmm.
literally the same things that he learned
Yeah.
like at summer camp. So he said
Mhm.
he walked past. He was like, "Well, let me think about it." About an hour later, he comes back past. He says, "Yeah, I think I would like to do that."
Yeah.
And so that's when my wheels start spinning, and
Mm.
I talked to God. Literally, put an architect in my path because when
Mm.
I told Emmanuel about it, I
Yeah.
didn't have an architect that could teach him how to build with Legos. And I
Right.
figured, let's not just have it for him, let's have it for other kids in the area. So we wound up doing the whole summer camp in Atlantic City.
Yes.
And these kids were able to learn architectural design from an actual architect. And they built buildings with Legos.
And now,
And we called it We Build.
see, this is the thing. And, I say everything is connected.
Hmm.
Okay. I tell people at my job, my faith is connected to my work. My work is connected to my faith.
Right.
Okay. You can't separate the two in me.
Hmm.
Though I'm respectful in both spaces.
Right. Right.
Um, but we call that experiential learning.
Yeah.
Getting in there and finding out exactly how to do something by doing it.
Hmm.
And you will learn the things you don't like to do versus the things you really enjoy
Right.
because you immerse yourself into the space.
Hmm.
So I think that's wonderful because you were able in that situation to know the people. At first you didn't,
Hmm.
but you saw your table.
Hmm.
And all the people that are sitting there, there's something you want to do. There's a goal that you have. So look at the table. Just sit down in front of the table, literally, and with the chairs in it, with no one there.
Yeah.
And look and say, who are the people that need to sit at that table
Hmm.
for me to accomplish the goal, for me to get this done? And unfortunately, the people you may have in your house, the people you may have as your friends, the people that may be in your workplace right now, they're not the people.
Hmm.
The people you need at the table for whatever it is you need to do are somewhere else.
Right.
But the moment you open yourself up to, I am going to move forward, faith without works is dead. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to find my people
Right.
for this purpose.
Hmm.
And that's why I say, for everyone that's watching and you're going through an ailment, you're going through sickness, get away from people who are unbelievers.
Absolutely.
Get away from people who don't believe in healing.
Hmm.
Get away, see, people have their own definition what healing is. Healing, according to the Lord, is you were sick, now you're not.
Hmm.
Okay. So whichever process you took to get there,
Right.
it's still healing. Some
Exactly.
people say food, some people say instant, some people say medication.
Hmm.
Whatever process you're taking, it's still healing.
Right.
The the problem is you may doubt, you may have some people around you doubting, but you can't, like we were saying, can't walk in unbelief.
Right.
You must believe
Right.
that I am going to accomplish this healing.
Hmm.
And if you have unbelievers around you, if you have doubters, that's it's worse. You need people around you who, even if they're doubting, they're getting on board with you.
Hmm.
And they say, by any means necessary, we're going to make this happen.
Right.
But unfortunately, those same people cannot go on a different journey with you because that's not where their faith is in that area.
Right.
And I think that's the part that, for me, that's hard.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, everybody's not gonna go with you. Everybody can't.
But that's hard because it's like you start getting this beautiful relationship with folks, and you're like, oh, this is great,
Well, the
and
cool
we're
thing
going to
is,
do all this stuff together.
yeah,
And then you tell them what's the next goal, and they're like, oh, I can't do that.
yeah,
And you're like, because a part of you just says, what?
yeah,
You was just with me over here,
hmm, yeah.
and now you're not.
See, I liken it to like vision. Like
Mm.
some people are nearsighted, Some people are farsighted.
Mm.
Some people have 20/20 vision. So
Yeah.
20/20
Yeah.
vision person, they can see both sides. They can see where you're starting and where you're going and help along the path.
Mm.
Nearsighted people, they can only see what's in front of their nose. Farsighted people can see far off, but they can't help you with the little steps to get there.
Mm.
Have to have all three.
Wow.
But if you're a visionary,
Wow.
you're a 20/20 person. So you have to be able to see it
Mm.
and you have to be able to accomplish it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you are a visionary, I see, I always thought of myself as having all of it.
Mm.
Because I have, in some cases,
Yeah.
because I'm a visionary, I can see things down the line.
Hmm.
This is what needs to happen. Boom.
Yeah.
There it is.
Hmm.
Sometimes I have at least three-fourths
Hmm.
of the path.
Yeah.
I don't have all of it. There's some gaps.
Hmm.
And it's like, but I'm okay with that. Sometimes it's half. I have half the plan.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might have a quarter of the plan. And I'm still willing to walk by faith.
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't know how we'll get there. I
Right.
don't know. Well, let's get there. Um,
But that's the blessed part, though.
it is, but you still, it takes a courageous person to walk alone. Even though you have Jesus with you.
See,
I know.
I wasn't
I
gonna say
know.
walk alone.
I know, but you hear what I'm
I
saying.
do. I do.
Because that's the way I guess that I see it.
Hmm.
That I have Father God with me. Jesus is with me.
Hmm.
My angels are with me.
Right.
But I always look to every journey I go on,
Hmm.
having that other.
Yeah.
And I think God is getting me to a point that He said, I'm enough.
He is. He
He
always has
is.
to be enough.
But you understand, like,
Yeah.
see, I'm sitting there telling y'all, and I know this for a fact, there's some things in my life. He's saying, Cheryl, I'm enough.
Hmm.
You don't have to have anyone else on this journey until you get to, okay, Lord, who needs to be at my table?
Hmm.
And then soon as I start walking the path, He assigns me, like He did you, got
Hmm.
an architect. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, then my architect. Like, you know what I mean? There's my person. And then he's like, and then there's like, see, but we're so conditioned.
Hmm.
Everybody who's been in my journey has to go on my future journey.
Yeah.
And I think for me in 2026, you know, going into that next year,
Hmm.
I truly believe God is saying to me, I'm enough.
Hmm.
And that for me, when I tell you, that's breaking some serious ground.
Yeah.
Because I've always, you know, the Bible says with two gathered in His name, He's in the midst. Like we're always going on that.
Yeah.
But the two could be me and Him.
Exactly.
But me visually, I'm always looking at that. Oh God, I had that physical other.
Yeah.
And look at how many people have done things on their own in this lifetime.
Exactly.
People have gone to the highest mountains by themselves. They conditioned by themselves. They've gotten there by themselves.
Yeah.
They crossed the oceans
Right.
with just them.
But the good
You
thing,
know.
because this is a Christian show,
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
like, I understand. Like, I was talking yesterday to my church online.
Yeah.
I literally took like 40 something kids down to Atlantic City to this water park down there,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
just
Girl was telling me about
yeah,
that.
it was a great
Yes.
time.
Wonderful.
Great time,
Yeah.
amazing time. But I didn't realize that I had to teach the Bible study at the same time at 7 o'clock.
Everyone, it's Shirley Farrar. We're coming back. I just wanted to let you know that we're going to be having several sessions of just talking about walking in purpose with the right people. So, this is our first part. We're going to get ready to go to our second part next week. So, I just want you to continue to stay tuned. Okay, Shirley Farrar, and this has been Encouragement on Fire. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.